Quivers. Ooh, there's an interesting topic. I don't think I've ever done a video on quivers. This is Bungie's Quiver for 2022. This is the result of the annual Quiver Day competition. What is a Quiver Day competition, you ask? Well, basically, it's the opportunity for each of my 12 arrows to compete for a spot in the quiver.
Today is gonna be the day. He's not gonna get away from Bungie. Death by Bungie.
I kind of look at it like they're all competing to get in here because this is a big honor to be accompanying Bungie into the woods. And it's not something that just any arrow can do. No, only the arrows that perform flawlessly with broadheads. Ooh, yes, got to have a broadhead on there. In this case, a Swahacker 150 grain, all set up there, ready to go. But these cases are pretty handy if you want to pick up one of these. They make them for compound guys that take up a lot more extra room. We don't have those long arrows. No, we have shorter arrows, and I have all these zombies in there, ready to go. Ready for the upcoming crossbow woods, the upcoming crossbow seasons. And that box will go with me to Maryland, but into the woods, only these arrows will go and accompany Bungie if I take Bungie into the woods. This is the original quiver from Bungie. The original quiver. Can you believe that? This quiver is now, as of just a couple of days ago, this quiver is now 12 years old. It is a cheapo, the bargain basement Excalibur style quiver. You can see it there, the Excalibur logo. It's got a little screw here. You put it right in the slot on the side of the crossbow in a bracket, and you screw that in place. It snaps right in place. I love that. When you get to the tree stand, what do you do? When you get to the blind, what do you do? I like to take the quiver off. Now, the blind, I'll lay it on the ground next to me, not a problem. But what do you do if you are in a tree, right? This, I've got this handy little, these rubber corded things, or like little rubber cords. These things right here, you can buy them on Amazon or something. But man, you can fold them right up. They hold everything in place. They're so handy. Just take this like this, put it on a branch, twist it like this real quick, and it will hold on a branch and dangle right next to you, and boom, you've got your quiver right next to you, out of the way, or tie it right to the tree stand. Then when I'm going in and out of the woods, I can fold it out of the way, and it stays right out of the way. See? Stays right out of the way. I took all the arrows out of the case, right? Took them out of this big case, and laid them on the railing, and I just shot one after the other until I got 4 that flew with the Swahacker practice points. The first 4 arrows that hit bullseyes at 30, 40, and 60. I skipped 50. And 60, I don't care about. I'm looking at the 3-inch dots clear down there, 60 yards down, right? But anything within a 3-inch circle of 60 yards for that older, slower crossbow, for a 2010 Excalibur Axiom, anything within a 3-inch circle of 60 yards is acceptable to Bungie. And Bungie has decided that these are the 4 arrows that could cut the mustard, so to speak. They're the ones that actually shot close enough together to where, I mean, these are the first 4 that hit bullseyes at 20, 40, and 60. Frankly, they were the first 4 arrows that I shot because they just, Bungie's not that picky. These things I refletched myself. Did a video on that. You can check that out. So that's quiver number 1. Quiver number 2, we're going to skip right over Bungie Jr. for the moment, and we're going to go to the Scorpyd Deathstalker quiver. This is an interesting quiver. Now, I did the same thing with the Deathstalker arrows. These went through the same regimen, right? They had the same competition. It was a little touchier with this guy, I gotta say. These aren't using the Swahackers, okay? This is a faster, newer crossbow, the Deathstalker 420. A more modern crossbow can have a greater variety of broadheads to choose from. And in this case, Bunjie III has chosen. Are you ready? I can slide it out of here in dramatic fashion. These are the Rage Tripans. Don't touch them. Boy, they're sharp little boogers. But I've got Rage Tripan 150 grainers on here. Really do like those broadheads. They're pretty heavy. I know. Somebody's going to post a link here to Lusk Archery Adventures and their tests of the Rage broadheads and how much he doesn't like Rage broadheads. Whatever. I'm not shooting at cinder blocks. Okay, and I've killed a lot of deer. I think Rage, when it comes to mechanicals, I dare say the Rage hypodermic has probably killed more deer than any other mechanical out there. Discuss that in the comments. But I think that's true. And I've killed an awful lot of deer with these things. You guys, I mean, I got my complaints of these things, right? They do eat up a lot of energy on impact. They really do. So you really do want to use these on a crossbow like Bunjie III. It's got a lot of the oomph behind it, right? You can put a little snot on those arrows. When I shot those out of the OB, right, going 260 feet per second with a heavier arrow like this, that's not really the crossbow arrow combination. I mean, it'll do it, but boy, on this thing, I'm blowing through stuff. And last year I blew through a deer with these no problem, and I fully think that that is a good pick. So there's my Deathstalker arrow. I have a case for those arrows as well. We'll set that right up here. How about that? This has kind of like a hair clip on it, right? This is the Lil Grip Quiver from Scorpyd III. Holds 3 arrows dressed out with the broadheads. And I also have my decocking arrow in there with a thumper on it, right? So I'll use, that is my decocking method of choice. But if I need to, I also have one of my field point. I can take a shot at a discharge target. And I carry a discharge target in the truck anyway during the season, just to have it on hand. You might want to verify your accuracy, something like that. Those little targets were great for that. I have this awesome little Rage case, a gift from Friend of Bunjie. Tim, thank you so much, sir. And I keep my little broadheads in here. They're in here right now are 3 little Rage crossbow hypodermic 100 grainers. I don't use them presently, although I might go back to them, you never know. I have a handful of them left, but I can take these out of here or add one of those tripans here so that I have that in my backpack nice and safe. Close it up, and it's nice and safe, padded, protecting the blades, protecting me from the blades, right there in my backpack. I can always switch that out with that field point and have that 4th arrow. Boy, don't get your finger in there. It'll bite it right off. It is a grabby thing, and I do get injured with this. The funny thing about this quiver, it's a great design. It's a great idea. Let's put it that way. And it goes right on the edge of your tree stand just fine. Goes right in a branch next to you just fine, right? Fantastic. But it'll bite you in the process, no doubt. It's going to bite you in the process. That's just how it is. But the one thing it doesn't do is stay gripped to the crossbow perfectly and without question, without fail. I have on 2 occasions gotten to the tree stand, gotten to the blind, and had no quiver. The quiver's not attached to the crossbow anymore. It just broke off and fell, you know, lost it along the trail. I had to go get the quiver. For the Deathstalkers, I've got all these dressed out. I got a couple extras that flew real good with the rages on there. I got them dressed up, ready to go in case I lose an arrow, break an arrow, whatever. I can throw another guy right into circulation. It's a little trickier with the Scorpid to fill up a quiver, not because of the arrows really. They're shooting okay. I think half my problem was the Rage tripans. I used used ones for practice points, right? And I glue them with JB Weld, and some of them don't really look like Rage broadheads. They're all mangled up and everything, and those probably don't fly real well. I have Genevieve's quiver right here. Let's talk about Bunjie Jr.'s quiver. Are you ready? Here it is, Bunjie Jr.'s quiver. It's got 2 limbs ready to go for backups. It's a limb quiver, right? Bunjie Jr. has to have a limb quiver to carry its spare limbs into the woods, right? In case it breaks a limb. Genevieve's going to die when she sees that. Here's Bunjie Jr.'s quiver, right? Genevieve has GKW quiver. She has selected, and there are in here, perfect. She's got 5 arrows. I'll show you what she's got. She got a neat little setup. She did this herself. But it's got 5 arrows. I told her you got to have 5 arrows, right? The quiver, her little quiver for Bunjie Jr. only holds 3 arrows, right? So this snaps on to the micro platform of Excalibur Crossbows. That's what Bunjie Jr. is. It's a micro suppressor 355, right? Holds 3 arrows. She is also decking it out with the swackers, right? We got the swackers in there. She loves those. They work really good out of that crossbow. She has dialed this in, shot. She took her first ever 60-yard shot getting this quiver ready. How cool is that?
I'm going to shoot Bunjie Jr. at 60 yards for the first time.
Ever?
Yeah.
In your life?
I shot at 50 yards once, but I've never actually shot at 60, so. Swacker, practice point. Flies like a field point, so.
Hopefully. We're going to find out.
So far it has been. Alright, get on there.
Do I need to zoom in?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I didn't zoom in a lot.
I'm just gonna go for for the center of the target, which is the O in block.
There you go.
It is like 1.5 inches high and 1.5 inches right.
Wow, if that's all
That's
it is.
not bad, though.
Not bad for her
Yeah.
first 60-yard shot.
I'm absolutely not hunting at that distance, but still. That was pretty cool. Did you see how long it took to get down there? Not too bad. All hail Bungie Jr.
My complaint about this quiver, she does carry this actually in her backpack, sets it right in her backpack, right? So she can pull it out, doesn't carry it on the crossbow. Probably should carry it on the crossbow, but boy, this does not want to go on here. There's not a lot of room on those micro series crossbows, and fitting this in there and snapping it in place the way this wants to go on doesn't really like that, okay? She's totally happy with it. She doesn't complain about that at all. And one thing I want to point out, and thank you folks for it, last year I had Friends of Bunjie pointing out that Genevieve was carrying her arrow after she killed her buck. She's walked through the woods with a broadhead dangling there, but you don't want to do that. You really do want to tuck that broadhead arrow, tipped arrow, back into your quiver and snap it into place, because this protects it, right? This protects it from my hands from getting cut on those blades. I guess one of the biggest considerations when it comes to quivers is how many arrows does it hold. 4 is really ideal for me. I've shot 2 deer in one sit before. I'd love to do it again. Love to shoot 3 in one sit. A 4-arrow quiver, that's a good number of arrows for me. I like that. 3, you know, I can make that work, but I'd love to have the 4th arrow. Won't be long now. I can't wait to put this quiver and the other quivers into good use. Put them to good use out in the crossbow woods. I hope you are all pumped up for your upcoming crossbow seasons. I hope you have nothing but the best of success. Best of luck to you and to me and Genevieve. Until next time, all hail Bungie. Yeah.